Hello and welcome to How to Stay Married. ...
So
far.
Because it's a so far situation.
Sorry, I was just poking up in a really
Very
odd,
ugly.
phallic fashion. Anyway, welcome to this. I guess you could call this a Valentine special.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm still wearing my fuck the system top. Resist. Okay, so I've found this piece, which obviously has been written in preparation for Valentine's. And it's about body language. And it's about the damning body language cues or signs that your relationship is doomed or over.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And the subtle signs to look out for as you approach Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And I think this is important because I think we've talked about things like microaggressions in the past. I also think that having gone through, it's a very long article. In no way are we going to exhaustively go through every sort of section or type of kind of body cue. But some of them, I was surprised by how some of them really, really resonated for me about you.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's not necessarily that what you're feeling is negative, but it's what I see. And it's perhaps why I think they're negative. But maybe it's like because you hate me.
It's like when I say to you, maybe then when I say, I know that's not what you're feeling or thinking, but you don't know that's what it looks like.
Exactly.
Because we can all get stuck into our ways, can't we?
Yeah, so what I thought we could do is kind of just move through things. In terms of body language, is body language important to you, Nat?
Well, I think that I'm reading people all the time.
Yeah.
I was saying to Lee, a friend of mine who I was out with last night, I said, I'm wrong about so many things in life, so many things. But the one thing I'm really wrong about is people.
Wow, that's a big statement. Can I be honest with you?
And he said, no, you're right. Not so, when I'm much better when I'm looking at other people for other people's sake. Like there was somebody that I didn't like, that he liked, that I did not like, and I noticed it straight off. And I am picking up on body language. I pick up on body language a lot.
It's funny because I don't think of you as being someone who, when you put your mind to watching something visual, you'll see it. So like if you go to an art gallery or you see a film, you'll look at it and you'll say, you don't strike me as someone who would be picking up on those sort of cues.
Really?
Yes, in terms of conversation.
No, but
in terms
when you're
of
having
story,
conversation, you're watching how people move.
But I think people reveal so much more about themselves when they're not in conversation, just in the way they are in a room.
Well, then the short answer is yes. I read body language all the time.
Oh, right. Okay.
And also in conversation, like when somebody says, no, yeah, I find that so fascinating.
Oh, yeah, no.
So did you really enjoy it? No, yeah.
No, yeah.
And the no slips out first.
Yeah, why is that? What is that?
It's because there's some, they all want to say no, but they've got to say yes. It's like when you say, yeah, I'm fine. False information, nicely expressed.
There you go. Okay, well, shall I move through some of the...
Yeah, let's have a look. We must take it with a pinch of salt.
A pinch of salt.
Nobody divorce anybody over any of this.
Whenever we've said that before, we've ended up hurling the cameras, the lights, the microphones when they used to be out all over the shop.
No, I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about if anybody goes, oh God, does that mean my partner doesn't love me anymore? Of course, this is a pinch of salt time.
Yeah. Okay, well, the first one that they talk about is...
You bastard!
What happened there? God, if you're listening on podcast, apologies. You just had
I'm joking.
An errata moment. Okay, so the first one they say is be aware of the cold eye response. According to the expert in this article, there is a chilling giveaway that your relationship could be on the rocks, and it's called the cold eye response. This is the idea that you smile with your whole face when you're meaning it. You know, you just smile. You can't help but authentically smile with every part of your face. It's like, oh, it's your eyes smile, your mouth smiles, everything smiles. But what they're talking about here is when someone doesn't have strong feelings, it becomes quite a sort of tight face. It becomes a sort of, hang on, they've got a description for it.
I think that's a classic.
Yeah, the muscular tension is more in a face that smiles coldly.
But I don't think that always means that somebody's lost feelings for you. Rather like what we were saying earlier, it can be that actually you're not present in the smile. So you might give that person a smile that's like that because you're thinking of them in that minute, but you're stressed and you're doing something else but it's not a real smile. But it doesn't mean always that person doesn't.
It's not the smile. This is the eyes. This is dead eye.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
cold
No, but
eye.
that's what I mean. So you can give a smile and your eyes are dead.
Yes.
Because it hasn't gone through, because you're just doing the action of a smile. And you can read in somebody's eyes, oh, God.
I have a problem with people with blue eyes. I find most, not all, I can think of some really notable exceptions. Like Lisa has blue eyes, doesn't she? And it's not the case at
Rachel
all.
has the most
No,
beautiful
but
blue
like my mum's eyes.
But your mum's eyes are
when
very
she
small
smiles,
pupilled.
it's literally hostile. I don't like it.
Yeah, and she has, that was like
Sort
my
of
first
repels you.
boyfriend. He had those kind of eyes. I don't like those eyes. And it's very small pupils, like a
Yes.
heroin addict.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Because when your pupils dilate, it's saying that you liked somebody.
So I find almost inherently, and again, sorry to anyone with blue eyes, not everyone, but more often than not, I find that cold-eyed expression. But I have to say, I know you've said many times in this podcast, I'd rather have no sorry than a pointless sorry. In fact, you don't even like sorry, just change. Don't say sorry. I don't want a half smile from anyone. I don't like giving half smiles. I don't like it when you feel like you've got to, it's kind of like, and I hate to say it, Naj, maybe it's your showbiz side of your life. You have to give half smiles. And so I know when I see you smile sometimes, the eyes are dead.
No, I do think that's what can happen in relationships, because you're doing lip service to a smile. It's not conscious,
No.
but actually you're not present in the smile.
Yes.
Like so we both do it to each other. We go, yeah, because actually we're just like not in that moment, and then it's a good thing to be aware of, though.
Yeah. The second one is a smile could tell you all that you need to know. While you may think, and this kind of relates to eyes, while you may think that smiling around your partner is a good sign, you might want to think again. The body language expert
Oh my God.
tells the Daily Mail that if your partner's lost interest in you, they will still smile at you, but it will look different. When someone's masking a secret or the fact they've lost feelings for you, there might still be an impulse to perform a smile, but it's just not real. It's rarely got warmth. It rarely reaches the eyes and the lips. The smile will rarely
How can
reach
smile
the
not
eye.
reach the lips?
Well, no, I know exactly what
Hang
that
on,
means.
let's try and do a smile without it reaching our lips. You've moved your lips. No, you cannot do any kind of smile.
No, but you don't get the. No, but I know what it's like. So sometimes I go. It's that sort of smile, which I think a lot of women give men. They go.
Well, I think a lot of people give it to each other when they're pissed off with them.
Right.
It's not really a smile then, is it? It's like, but I mean, that's pretty bleeding obvious. I mean, it's not like a hidden. It's not like a hidden.
I think
body
we're all
language.
so stressed as well. We're rushed.
Yeah.
We're strapped for time, for cash, for sex. None of us are getting what we want enough of, and so sometimes it's just like, just take this. Oh, just put my neck. Smiling.
But also, I think there is that other kind of smile, which is when things are bad with a couple, where it's a sort of aggressive smile.
Right.
So you'd have a tight smile that's like you're just not present, and you're just everything
Yes,
else is
I know what
more
you mean.
important than actually smiling at the person that you do still love and still do want. But
Do
you're
an
not
aggressive
setting
smile
aside.
at me.
But then there's aggressive smile, which is like,
You do that.
or like, and that you shouldn't be needing to be told that that's a bad sign.
Yeah, I think my aggressive
That's-
smile is this.
Was it connected to your guts? Mark, that you looked like Andy Pandy when you did your aggressive smile. Try harder. Do it. You can see all this on YouTube, guys, if you're listening.
Okay.
Right, do aggressive.
Like,
No, Mark, it's awful.
I can't
You're
do
going
an
like this.
aggressive
You're going
smile.
like this. You're looking like a Disney princess.
I can't do it. I can't do it. Okay. Be on the lookout for mocking signals. Now, this is a crucial one. I remember an ex of mine.
But who wouldn't know a mocking signal?
Well, like
if
this.
anyone gives me a mocking signal, I'm going to know it. But I
You do
suppose-
that a lot.
No, but the thing is...
You roll your eyes
But the
an
thing
awful
is,
lot.
maybe people don't like, we started this conversation with, are we good at body language? And so all of this so far is just like, do that.
Yeah.
all the- But maybe some people don't read these things.
Eye rolling. You do eye roll. You do that a lot. Not quite like that. Hang on. I can't.
You
I
go like
can't-
this, you go.
I go like what?
You go like this.
What with my chin?
You go, yeah, you do.
Oh, like Zoolander.
Like that. Or don't, 'cause it's making you feel
I
sick.
know my eyes are really hurting.
Don't,
No,
because
but
I
some of the
feel
other ones
cross-eyed.
you do this a lot. Sighing or groaning. You sigh and groans. I'll say things and I can hear you and you think I can't hear you. Go,
I have to sigh because otherwise I'd go fucking round the
what
bend.
do you mean?
Do you know, listen to this, people that sigh, whistle and talk to themselves have much lower levels of anxiety. A sigh...
Because they're not thinking of anyone else and how they impact them.
No, but honestly, a sigh is a really good way, because you know, like we know about breath work.
Yes.
A sigh gets rid of tension. But when you're doing a sigh, so somebody knows, you go, oh, God.
You do that with me.
Of course I do, because otherwise I'm going to go fucking mad.
What do you mean?
Because sometimes one is really angry and one doesn't want to get into a row, so you just sigh.
Okay,
aggressively.
This is a really interesting one. Because this speaks to something that I thought was an urban myth, and this has made me worry. This one.
Go on.
Having more sex than usual is not always a good sign. Why would you think that might be the case? Come on.
Because somebody's trying to prove something?
No.
Oh.
No, typically many people equate having more sex as a positive thing. I mean, I would.
Oh, God, don't tell us now we've got to worry if we're having more sex.
Yeah, because listen to this.
God.
It could be a signal that things are about to crumble.
Oh.
Do you know
Well,
how?
that's what I mean. Desperation. People feel like they're
so listen
desperate.
to this. Emotional disassociation might not always result in a dip in sexual behaviour. And especially if someone's cheating. The new state of sexual arousal from whoever you're cheating with spills into the marriage or the relationship.
Oh, gross.
So that your partner, long-term partner, is a prototype for what you're doing with your lover. So the new sexual technique might be erotic and exciting, but did they really learn it to please you, or are they learning it for someone else?
God. Well, I mean, I think you would know the difference.
No, but I have heard this said, and I remember when I was younger, it was said, be careful. I remember a bloke saying to me, be careful, because of course, if there's a sudden surge in one of your girlfriends wanting to have sex with you, it could mean she's having an affair. And I was like, I remember being thrown by this. He was a sort of older work colleague, and I was like,
An arsehole.
yeah, but I was like,
I mean,
I
would
thought that
think
was. I thought that was a
if your marriage
good
has gone
sign.
off the boil and you've gone off sex with your partner, and then you're having an affair and you're having great sex with your partner, why would you then want to have more sex with the one that you've gone
Because you
off?
feel guilty, but you feel able to access it
Well,
because you've been fired up.
It sounds like you were talking from experience.
No, I'm just saying.
Okay, so when you were having affairs in the past, did it make you want to have more sex with the person?
Yes.
Did it?
Yes. It worked out brilliantly all round. It's a terrible thing to say.
Well, I like the truth.
Yeah, I'm
so
honest.
tell me more. This is what everyone's going to want to hear now.
What?
What you just said.
Well, yes, because I think it means...
Could tell you weren't talking about a third person.
What do you mean?
Talking about
No.
well, because some people say
No. It was
so-
the reason it was a fear for me was when that thought was put in my head. It was very early on. I was working in the.
This is what I love. These
job
thoughts
centre.
that are in
Yes.
men's heads are because
I
the
remember the
thoughts
sandwich I was
are
eating.
their actions.
Hang on. I was in a long-term relationship.
The man that said that to you, was doing that himself.
Well, yeah,
and then
possibly.
you will have feared it in other situations
And then
because
did
you
it.
did it yourself.
No, I didn't fear it because I did it. I feared it and then I did it.
Well,
different.
Whatever way up, you're the one
because
who's doing
I was
it.
I was young. I remember the sandwich I was eating. It was one of the first times I had a prawn mayonnaise sandwich from Marks and Spencer's
God,
just
it's
from the M&S opposite Liberties. in
Why has
Central
that
London.
got anything to do with you?
So I remember having the conversation with him because I
Oh
remember
God, I thought you were talking about the sex.
me and my girlfriend. No, what with the prawn sandwich?
I didn't realise you were talking about.
No.
I thought you were talking. We've
what?
just been talking about the sex. You went,
And
I
I said,
remember it well. I was having a prawn
No,
sandwich.
I remember the conversation when he told me this pearl of wisdom, and it's haunted me, and it haunted me for years.
No, what we've got to know is that was his pearl of wisdom.
No, I
that's
know,
what
and
he
then it
was
became my
doing.
pearl of wisdom.
Yeah, got to be careful. We might
Yeah.
be having an affair
Really
because
not.
he was clearly having an affair. So why did you having an affair make you want to have more sex with the person that you clearly must have gone off?
Well, because I hadn't necessarily gone off them sexually.
Ah,
Yeah.
but why did having more sex somewhere else make you want more sex?
Because I was just useless. I was just an addict. And I was just not very mature.
So did
And
she
I was
get...
seeking
this is
comfort
the
in all
good
the wrong
question.
places.
Did she get suspicious?
Probably. I can't remember.
Why are you lying?
Because I was a mess.
No, but did she ever say?
No, the
You're
conversation...
so lying now.
No,
Mark,
no,
Mark.
babe. conversation
the
never
subs
came
know
up.
you-
We're doing
the
this.
subs know you
Is
well
that because
enough.
you're doing that?
They know you well enough to know, and I've excellent body language reading. They know you well enough to know.
I can't remember.
To know that
That's
you're
the
rolling
honest.
your eyes up into your head, you're turning away, you're doing a half smile.
I'm not.
You're
Babe,
retreating.
there was never a conversation where someone said to me, "Are we having more sex because you're having an affair?"
But once you got found out for having an affair, did they say, "Oh God, I knew something was going on"?
No.
Because suddenly we were doing bunny hops, and we never did bunny hops before.
No.
Mark, you're doing a weird smile that says you're lying. You're going,
I'm trying to remember. It's so fucking long ago.
No, it's so hard, isn't it, when you're asked anything
Jesus
in the past?
Christ. What?
I can't remember anything. I just can't remember anything.
What about the orgy? Okay, you may be on the other end of their barrier building. According to the body language expert, when we feel happy and relaxed in our relationship, we welcome physical touch and crave being close. But when we're checking out or harbouring a secret, though, the hands, eyes and legs will tend to get busy building detachment and self-protective barriers. Hands will be clasped in front of the torso. People will stay cross-legged, arms folded, and this is about barrier building.
Yes, that's absolutely true. Like yesterday on Love Island,
Yes.
when Belle took, what's his name, upstairs to the terrace, and I said to the girls, look, he's not interested at all.
Oh, the one who only sits down all the time.
Because he sat right on the edge of the seat.
And he put a cushion on his crotch.
Yeah, so like this, you're like open and you're wanting
But you're
to
also
talk.
an arrogant...
You'll have to bleep that out. You can't say that. That's one word you can't say.
What did I say? I never used that word. Sorry.
No, I mean, you could be like this and you could be really relaxed and you're open. So you're open to the conversation.
Yes.
You're open to what might be said. And when you're doing this and this and you're sitting on the edge of the seat,
Right.
it's saying you want to get out of
Like
there.
having a mental breakdown. You look like you're going to be attacked.
No, it was just a really good example of that because he was sitting back and then he was sat right on the edge, which was signalling, I want to go.
But sometimes, in defence of people who are a little bit more, it's like some people are a bit shyer.
Yeah,
Some people
it's
are a
not
little
categorical.
bit less forward.
Yeah, it's not categorical.
But yeah, I mean,
In that situation, it was right.
like for example, you would say you're a great hand holder, but I would argue that when you
I
go to
I'm a
hold,
terrible hand holder.
yeah, because when you hold a hand, you don't hold anything.
No,
It's like
I
holding
say
a
I'm a
kipper.
terrible hand holder.
No, I know, but you probably.
I don't like, why can't you just hold my hand? Why do I have to hold it tightly? It's like, because then it's like, hold it tight. Oh, you're not holding my hand tightly. It's like, it's annoying.
Well, no, hang on. I've never sat there.
I prefer to hold a hand like
I
that.
just don't
But you
bother
go, hold it like that, and I don't like it.
There's something affirmative about holding a hand.
No, it's too like, I'm holding your hand.
So you
Why
just want to
can't-
be held and swung around.
No, it's just like, I prefer just like a soft hold, but you like a hard
I
hold.
like a two-way mutual hold,
Well, you're just going to get what you're given.
which is like fish fingers.
Shut up.
Your phone has become the third person in your relationship. Well, I mean,
That's, if you can't read that body language.
but also, again, even on that, so much. For example, we are working so much on our phones, so there is always that dividing line. There are moments where, like, it would be nice. I mean, in fact, it has changed in recent weeks a little bit. But like up in the bedroom, you're not on your phone whilst I'm busy making love to you or something like that. No, do you know what I mean? It's like you've come off the phone finally. And then once we've finished, I find one of your AirPods between my buttocks or something
He's
like that.
making all of this up, guys. He's building his part to sound cool. Just ignore him.
To sound cool. Why does that word?
Completely ignore him. There's nobody there that says on a podcast, ignore him. Don't listen to him.
Because he's trying to sound
Can you imagine a podcast where you say, wait, we do, don't listen to this blog?
Right, this one really, really resonated for me. I didn't really understand what they meant at first, and then I did. Your significant... My stomach
There's
is in
three
it.
people in this
I know.
podcast.
Yeah. Your significant other has stopped purring. Literally. So the body language expert highlighted that often in a thriving relationship, your partner will appreciate flirty strokes and smiles of approval, so long as it's a full smile and not one of those angry smiles.
Or one of those.
Your farty smiles. But if they've started rejecting them, there could be trouble in paradise. Non-verbal strokes are a small compliment, smiles of approval or flirt signals that we use to flatter our partners, and the complimentary reply should be a purr, which can be a smile of satisfaction or a blushing or some kind of response. But when the compliment gets no response through your stroke, as if your strokes have become irrelevant to them, this suggests they're possibly tuned into someone or something else. These small moments of affection, if they're not met with something, he describes it as a sort of wilt and die situation. So this is like if you stroke someone on the hand, or if you kiss someone on the neck.
That's not really body language, is it? That's affection.
Small touches, strokes, hand or arm squeezes, and even those telling looks will be a vital aspect of a loving communication that show a desire to be constantly linked or tuned in. Now, I realise why this one resonated for me. More often than not, and I think for people who struggle with kind of, being almost too empathetic or too vulnerable and all this kind of bollocks, I can overread. I can try and overread what's going on in you. It's like I'm kind of like if you're tight in the eyes, or if you're tight in the arms, or you kind of got a sort of cross face, or it's not about it being about me, but I'm wanting to just clock in with what's going on for you. But in the asking, you get really fucking annoyed. It's like, why are you asking me? You
What's it got to do with flirty touch?
Well, because more often than not, I don't come close to you to give you an affectionate thing or whatever. Because actually, you can come in, or you can come back or home or whatever with an energy that's quite sort of abrasive. Not as kind of, not always.
But you've never been affectionate.
But I'm trying
You never can reach out first. I always have to reach out first,
what I'm
and that's
saying
because
is if
you're
you were
really scared of me.
No, what I was saying, yeah, but sometimes you are quite scary.
Well, as we did that brilliant podcast that time, which you never remembered any of it, and I thought it was the most moving and brilliant and cohesioning podcast. You don't remember it.
I still remember. Yes, I do remember.
You should find it and you should listen to it. Because we discussed all of that, and then you forgot it.
No. I realise it is about over time trust and feeling that you can actually.
Don't I deserve trust
safe
by now?
Yeah. Hang on, we won't.
That you can trust to just like try and push through that sometimes.
Yeah, but sometimes.
Well, you're just not brave enough.
No, hang on.
So if you're not brave enough,
sometimes I am brave enough, and sometimes other times you're just a horrible old cow.
No, but it's not even that. You because you don't like yourself, you won't reach outside of yourself.
Right.
It's true.
So the play.
So you've always found it difficult to be affectionate naturally. It's like a process that you go through. You think, you assess, you look at me, you try and, you wouldn't just do it. The very nature of what you said was you try and assess.
Yeah, I'm
like
trying to work out how it's going to land, rather than
that's
just
what I mean.
Come what may, it might land or not. That is based upon, a worry of rejection, or. If I misread it, I go in for a hug and you misread why I'm going in for a hug or whatever, and you're like, well, why are you doing that?
But if I'm honest, it's because it often feels like there has been a process of thought, and then there is a process that must come back. And It's not like, how you could just be naturally...
not naturalistic.
Yeah, it's not just like... It's not... You just wouldn't just like... casually just put your arm around me or something. It's like, it's cautious.
I do that. I'm allowing myself to do that more and more.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's not because you're a bad person. It's just that some people have that thing where they can just be very naturally affectionate, and other people struggle with it. Yeah. And it doesn't mean the person doesn't have an affectionate soul. It's just the actual action of being affectionate, I think, takes a level of confidence and free spirit to be able to do it.
Yeah.
And when you are more relaxed, and so like sometimes I push against it because it feels awkward from you. It doesn't feel like casual.
But maybe
like you wouldn't just go, oh, come and sit near me. You never say that. You never ever say that.
No, but maybe it would happen more often if there wasn't the worry of whether you were going to read it as not natural or
not.
But
why don't you just, that's why I'm saying, why don't you not think and take the risk?
Well, I'm going to do that more often.
I think stop thinking.
I am going to stop thinking.
You think about everything way too much.
I hate thinking, everyone.
I hate thinking.
I hate thinking. I had big thoughts today. I want small thoughts.
Like if 10 times if once out of 10 times you're affectionate with me and I'm a bit like, oh God, I can't be bothered, then that's part of life.
I guess so. But again, it comes back to that thing of wanting to be too perfect as well.
Exactly.
It's striving for perfection.
Let me make sure I've quantified it all, I've got this, and then let me make sure that what I get back is this, because otherwise that might mean I've made her unhappy. And it's just... a lot.
No, I get it, but it does, when you map it out like that, it absolutely, and I don't like always relating what happens in a sexual, personal relationship to how one relates to a parent, because it kind of is a
Well, but I think
clash
that's
again.
but that's the nature of it all.
On a sort of psychoanalytical, psychotherapeutic kind of level, what you've just described me doing is the only way I could negotiate affection from parents as a child.
That's what I understand.
From both my nan and my mum. Is the only way I could get it was if I've always, and this isn't, I don't feel sad, so I'm not going there, but I always had to do a risk assessment. Every situation was a risk assessment with my nan as well.
Exactly.
Two incredibly volatile women.
Use, yeah.
And that risk, and you're an incredibly volatile woman too, but in a positive way. And so sometimes I'm worried that I might misread that, and that volatility might be the same volatility that I was just fucking unsettled by.
I think it's the perfect way to describe it. I feel like I'm being risk assessed.
Yeah. Where's your fire escape?
The risk assessment makes me, it's not, and this is what I mean, it's nothing bad that you do, it's not horrible, it's nothing, but on a cellular level, talking about body language and all, we just pick things up, don't we? Our cells pick things up. And so because I'm just so attuned to that stuff, like my mum was not affectionate at all. She couldn't be. And I yearned for her to be affectionate. But my dad was affectionate, you know, and then I learnt to be affectionate by getting really, really drunk, actually. It was when I got really, really drunk and I realised, oh my God, when I was young, I can be affectionate. Yeah, I can, and I felt that, and I thought that is what I want to be. That's the person I want to be, because I think just in my soul that's what it was. But I wasn't brought up with affection. But the Arab side of my family is all they're very easy, and the men hug each other. Yeah. So the affection came in there, but you didn't. Yours was transactional. Whoa. And sometimes your affection feels transactional because it is probably not in your head. But again, it's like not necessarily what the person is thinking, but how the other person feels, how it lands is awkward.
Yeah. Okay, I'll try and be less awkward in future.
No, don't try and be less awkward. Because even that is a big thing. It's just try not to risk assess.
Just don't think about it.
Take a risk.
Take a risk. I like that.
That would be my to you or anyone that struggles with being affectionate. Take the risk, because unless you're prepared to be hurt, it's like what I say to the girls all the time. When they've been hurt, I said, but you've just got to jump back out, because if you're going to spend the whole of life trying not to be hurt, you will never have the highs.
Yeah, no, I agree. Eyes are the biggest sign of a disengaged partner. I sometimes worry about your eyes, but sometimes I know that you can't see very much. So I know that look of total unfocused, not really seeing what you're seeing. I often don't think you see me. I don't mean like literally. I mean, I'm not going to start using that line of, I met a woman and suddenly I felt seen again,
But remember that one? We did that
God, I hate that, yeah. Suddenly I was
having
seen.
sex and now they feel seen.
They feel seen, yeah. According to the body language expert, eyes can be the biggest tell of truth. The eye dart, or quick glances to the side during a conversation, will be one way of attempting this. Or an adrenaline-fueled rapid blinking and a flurry or eye stutter is another. If you confront your partner, you might see the opposite response, which is the use of too much unblinking eye contact that will appear unnatural as they try to act innocent. James added that rapid blinking can also be a sign of irritation. Affection creates slower blinking to signal approval, but a rapid blink rate when you're speaking to each other can signal the opposite.
What, like this?
Yeah, I once was with a woman who blinked so much, I felt like I was being edited. It was so weird.
Do you think it was because...
She was like that.
Maybe she was allergic to her mascara.
I don't know. She looked like she was in shock. So the desire to gaze into each other's eyes ceases. Well, we don't look into each other's eyes anymore.
We're now looking into each other's eyes. Listen, I think
that's an oversold thought, don't you?
No, I think it is a brilliant thought.
What, looking into each other's eyes?
Years ago, on Loose Women, this came up as a topic, like not looking into each other's eyes, right? And they said, we're going to get you all to each look into each other's eyes for a minute. They do it, don't they, on How to Married at First Sight?
And it can be just to be...
everyone says it's the worst thing when they watch it.
Especially if for a number of people with real neurodiversity, it's a real problem.
Yeah.
And that's not born of feeling. That's just...
Yeah. So anyway, so then we all got talking about it in the room, and one of the loose women who has actually now split up with their partner. This is years ago. She's not a current loose woman. Nobody try and work out who it was. This is years ago, and she said, "Oh my God,
Oh.
I've just realised I never look at being in the eyes. I'll look there, I'll look there, I'll look there, I'll look there. You know, I'll be thinking about or the skirting board, or I'm thinking, and I was like, yeah, that's intimacy. That's a massive thing when you can't look into the other person's eyes. And I see couples do that. They'll do everything but look at each other, because there's so much that everybody is unsaying, not saying, suppressing, keeping a lid on, because it's going to add an argument, or it's this or it's that. But actually, when we first started this podcast, and I don't know if you remember, it was a long, long time ago now, we were in quite a bad way in our relationship. And I really hated doing it. Because we had to keep looking. And I think we had loads of like really unpleasant podcasts, because I can't fake it. God. Right, I don't do the like, and you don't, hang on, and you don't fake it. We would like be faced with each other, and we hadn't really been looking at each other directly in the eyes and really talking about each other. So it was really, really hard. And I often think this podcast really did save us at quite a few bad times in our marriage, because we have to sit and talk to each other every week, looking in each other's eyes. And so sometimes when people, because a lot of people do talk to me about their relationships, and I always talk about this, I say, you know, I really noticed that because we have to sit opposite each other and talk about things, not always things that are directly about us or our relationship, but other things, and we have to listen, because though we're not being fake, we're going to listen a lot more because we're doing a podcast, and it's a really good exercise for people to do, you know. So but I think not looking at each other in the eyes is a massive problem.
But I do think looking into each other's eyes when you're talking is one thing. I think being able to just look into each other's eyes is an incredibly vulnerable.
Yeah, that's a huge exercise.
No. But I can think of many instances. We were away somewhere recently, and there was a couple in the restaurant that we were staying in, and or the pub that we were staying in, and I saw them not say a single word to each other, and I saw them utterly unable to look at each other, because to look at each other with there being no dialogue or anything to reference, they knew that the eyes locking would tell each other there was something
That's
afoot.
A kind of loneliness that is so horrible. Yeah. So for single people that are thinking, oh God, everything would be wonderful if I'm with somebody, the loneliness of being with somebody is
and I've
crushing.
been there. I mean, although I always characterise myself as the one who was unfaithful or made that, and I did all of those things, you know, the unfaithfulness of certainly one relationship in particular was the consequence of never having felt more lonely than I felt in that relationship.
Well, when you feel the person doesn't really like you, it can be really lonely. But I do think, like anybody listening to this podcast who's in a relationship and they're feeling it's going a bit, just notice it. Don't actually say it to your partner, but just start noticing. Am I avoiding looking? Am I avoiding? And why am I avoiding? And am I avoiding because there's this that I just never get to say, and is that, and then maybe have that conversation with your partner, or even, my advice always is, if you're way beyond that, sending a message that's not angry, but sending a text or sending something saying, God, I've really noticed, say for instance, you know, I was listening to this podcast the other day, and they were talking about whether people, you know, whether it's important to look at each other, and I realised we don't really look at each other, and I'm just wondering, what do you think about that? Have you noticed that? You don't have to answer this straight away, but just maybe it's something you could both think about, and send a text like that, because I think noticing that was really interesting to me.
The last one I'm going to do here is verbal disconnect, which I think in a weird way for us is, you know, this we verbally fucking connect all the time and talk all the time, but we can talk all the time and we can not be connecting on an emotional or spiritual level. That's for sure.
Yeah, because talking can keep a person at arm's length.
But in terms of going back to what the mission statement of this article and it coming up to Valentine's, it's looking for those cues, those signs that there are problems. It's being in a coupledom or in a relationship and not kind of answering things when things are said, or even acknowledging that something's been said. I remember that happening a lot between my nan and my granddad, which was the only kind of long-term relationship. You know, she'd say something, he'd say nothing. He'd say something, she'd say absolutely nothing. In fact, she'd stand behind his head and just stick her fingers up it.
Because too much distance.
Not even just like, did you, or what was that? But not being irascible in the questioning, what was that? But actually going, what was it? What, you know?
I mean, like, you just have to keep thinking, God, when we were first together, or when we were at our best time, the person would come home and I'd really want to know how their day was. The simple thing of saying, how was your day? And actually listening, because that's where it all goes wrong. People come in and they don't really care, or they're like still distracted doing something else, and then you just think, oh, well, I'll just like peter out because they're not really interested. Sometimes in a relationship, you have to fake the interest, like you do with every relationship, with a friend, with your child. You know, so why we don't give that to our relationships, that we would be as good to your person as you would be to your friend.
Yes.
That's the thing. Yeah. So like if your friend's told you 5,000 times that actually she you would still listen to them. Yeah. But we don't give our partners the same respect. And like, are we as jolly with our partner as we are with our friends? And obviously you can't be all the time. But why not at least once in the day treat your partner as well as you would treat your friend?
And a really useful one, I may as well throw myself under the bus here, a really useful one that's occurred in this household recently has been, when you say to me, and it is really useful, and I'm sure this could be of use to many other couples who love each other, but, you know, a certain kind of, especially because of my mental health issues and my bipolar, and there's always that aspect to me. I realise of people trying to work out, is he kind of going, is he all right, and all that bollocks. Just when Nadia says this thing every now and then of, you know, you can talk to the girls, okay, you know, the girls will come in even if I'm feeling down, and I will muster that energy and that, and it might not be real to me, but it's real because I'm interested in it. Why can't I do the same with you? And I just think that was it was one of the things I was saying to Miranda yesterday. It's a really useful line, that it's just like, if you do love your partner and you're not sick of them and you're not actually wanting to have sex with them because you're having sex with someone else, but you're actually like, oh, but you can be really nice for all your kids, well, then why can't you extend the same? Yeah. You know, and it's not about you're choosing not to because you don't like them or you can't be bothered. It is about comfort. It is about taking for granted. Yeah. It is about feeling perhaps safer to be your real you, which, you know, we all have I think a duty to not just sink into what we're feeling all the time, even when we're feeling ill. So that for me is a really useful tip, because more often than not, even now, if we're in a kind of situation, and it's not that I'm about to change, but if I feel, I can be more, I don't have to be less pretend okay. I think, no, yes, you can. You can fake it to make it also for her too.
But also, it's like, if you do that and you're warm and then you get more warmth back. You know, so it's like, again, it's that risk assessment. It's like, oh, this person's come in, like, what am I doing? That's where all the coldness comes in between two people, because like everyone's protecting themselves. So it's like, just the same that you would give for the postman or for a friend or for a and it's like you said, it's not all the time every time, but I think more often than not is a good way to greet your partner, because if you were to split up and you still loved that person, you would do anything to have them come in and you go, oh God, hi. And it's as simple as this, is taking for granted.
A great strategy, which I use a lot, is think of that person dead.
Well, we don't have to go that far. Just think of them as...
No, but sometimes think that they've literally been hit by a bus.
That's how I got him to like my singing, because I said, you're really going to miss... Because I always used to do this thing where when he was sad, I'd go, shall I sing to you? And he'd go, no. And I would do like a silly song, and then he started getting really annoyed about it. He goes, no, I really don't want you to sing to me. And I'd be like, you'll miss it when I'm sad. That really... No, I said that to him once, and then he was like...
sing for me. So imagine that they're going to be hit by a bus, they're going to die unexpectedly.
Mark, I think that's not good advice. And Mark,
it parachutes you into a gratitude.
No, imagine they've been hit by a bus. Imagine they
were to be hit by
caring.
A bus. Well, that's a sort of whole different hellhole.
Well, but often that's the most challenging thing, to think of the simple things, because to go, oh, you might get knocked over by a bus. It's rare to get knocked over by a bus, But actually, people do stop caring about people because, you know, if you feel somebody's not caring over and over, and like your nan and granddad both believed the other one didn't care, so neither of them cared to ask or listen.
And that tip that you just gave there, be careful that you don't get to a place where the person who cares doesn't care anymore, was one of the other tips that I gave Miranda yesterday. Me and my friend Miranda had an idea for a podcast, which was basically me sat there spouting out all these truisms that have come out of Nadia's mouth about men and women relationships. Nadia's advice for women coping with men, and I was delivering it to Miranda.
Oh, lovely.
So basically, what the long and the short of it is, I'm going to not do a risk assessment, so I'm just going to run at you, which means I might knock you into things, I might set fire to things. When I'm having copious...
I'll report back on whether I want him to go back to doing a risk assessment.
And when you really want to have sex with me, I won't imagine that, oh God, she must be having an affair, because I'm just the prototype. That would be horrendous.
Is that what we got from that 45-minute show?
Yeah, and I'm going to smile with my whole face.
40-minute,
crooked smile.
seconds.
You've got to have crooked smiles, not dead
Happy
smile.
Valentine's. What are we doing Valentine's? I bet people will be thinking, what they're doing.
Well, hang on,
Valentine's.
because last year I talked about Valentine's. You got angry about me wanting to do something for Valentine's. You were sort of like weird about it. Yeah, you were like, oh, it's for young.
Find the clip.
You said it's for young people. Don't be so pathetic.
No, because
this year
what
you want
you
to do
said
Valentine's.
was, no, I remember now, because what you were saying, I feel like you'll feel I've let you down. That's what you said.
Well, what would you like to? I didn't realise you.
Darling, it was a very light comment, so it's gone heavy.
Whenever I've suggested we go out to a restaurant, you're like, oh God, no, everyone will be out. You don't want to do. I think we should just stay here and have sex. Lots.
Yeah, totally. Restaurants and that is for like young people, isn't it? Unless you're going somewhere.
We're going to see Wuthering Heights.
Yes, that's what I was getting. That's what I was handing
Apparently
you
it's
the plate to say we're going to see Wuthering Heights, which I love. Wuthering Heights. I love the original movie with Vivian Leigh. I watched it a number of times. I read it. I love Wuthering Heights.
I've read mixed reviews.